my name is Erin and I'm going to be discussing why Charlotte's Web by E.B. White is such a fantastic modern fantasy book and how it meets the 5 evaluation criteria regarding modern fantasy literature. I chose this book because growing up, I read it over and over again. This book actually belonged to my mom, and she also read it, Jodie Connie, her maiden name. She also read it in elementary school when she was growing up. So this book is very special to me. It's a very life-changing kind of book. It really opens your eyes to what friendship is and, gives you hope and just is a good story for kids. The 5 evaluation criteria include setting, plot, characters, style, and theme. The setting of Charlotte's Web describes a fantasy world full of detail, imagery, and a sense that this could be a real place. The story takes place on a farm full of animals, and the author goes into detail about what the narrator is feeling, seeing, smelling, hearing, and tasting, so it touches on all 5 senses. On page 3, it mentions that the kitchen table was set for breakfast, and the room smelled of coffee, bacon, damp plaster, and wood smoke from the stove. That's one great example of the use of imagery. Our next theme is plot. What makes a story a fantasy is the fact that it personifies animals. We have a talking spider, a talking rat named Templeton, and our talking pig Wilbur. Obviously, animals can't talk, so that is why this is such a wonderful fantasy fiction novel. A pig who talks and a spider who can write adjectives in her web are definitely imaginative. But other than those elements, the reader can actually, put themselves in the story and kind of relate to Fern, the girl who takes over and rescues Wilbur. Our next element is characters. The characters in Charlotte's Web behave very logically, assuming that Wilbur the pig can understand his fate and does not want to turn into breakfast. Fern, our main character, is the daughter of the farmer who wants to rescue the cute pig, Wilbur, and would even wrestle an axe out of her father's grasp to save the pig. Charlotte, our spider friend, starts out by telling Wilbur to stop crying and actually does something proactive to get him to be quiet and stop his whining because he thinks he's going to die. The style of Charlotte's Web is somewhat traditional with its use of vivid imagery. The story is told from the point of view of Fern, the girl, and Wilbur, the pig. The book has a beginning, middle, and end that help develop the characters in a story in a very meaningful way. We have a lot of time to get to know each and every character, the different farm animals, the brother, the father, and that's what makes the reader really care about the characters in the story. They understand where the characters are coming from, they understand why they do what they do, so that's a good element to have in this book. Our 5th element is the theme. Friendship and loss are 2 of the biggest themes within this story. They can be connected to the life and experiences of almost every reader. The last page of the book conveys these 2 themes with the following quote: "It is not often that someone comes along who is a true friend and a good writer. Charlotte was both." So for that to be our last line in the book really expresses what our themes are and what the author wants the reader to take away from our story. And one last quote I'd like to read is from the New York Times regarding the book. E.B. White's 3rd novel for children joins the 2 others on the shelf of classics. The trumpet of the swan glows with the primal ecstasies of space and flight, of night and day, of nurturing and maturing, of courtship and art. We and our children are lucky to have this book. If you've never read Charlotte's Web, I suggest you do, because it's a great book. Thank you. Bye.